backward. Okay, you guys, we're going to go over some of the 7 big reasons that have been shown through research of why people fall so much. And I'm going to go over these. Some of you know them, but I want you to be aware of them. And then we're going to go over what to do to improve these 7 things, okay? I'm going to start warming up. I have a weight vest on. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. It will be body weight. You can always pick up weights in your hands, but we're going to start. Okay. I told everybody to start, and I'm going to start warming up with the 3 main moves that can help us not fall. And what are the reasons for falling? What are the big ones? This is according to research done by many physical therapists who treat people who have fallen. And then the research they've done on what causes our falling. Do you see what I have right here? I'm taking elongated steps back. I have a weight vest on. I'm going to read you these so I don't mess it up. 7, and then I'm going to go over each one of them and show the ones specifically that we can do something about. But I'm doing one of the main things to help you not fall. I'm using a rod. I'm using a walking stick. You could put your hand on a wall. As I'm starting to warm up, which is a very essential thing to do before you do a lot of ankle or any weight loading. And I have just put about a 20-pound vest on me. So that's what I have, but I'm using this. You know why? I don't want to excessively lean. I tend to lean when I walk. I'm very aware of it, but there's only so much you can do with a leg length discrepancy. So I tend to lean. That makes us look like we're wobbling, okay, or waddling. So I'm taking slow, very long steps. I'm bending at the knee. I'm bending at the hip. Just a tiny bit. I'm pushing down here without bringing my shoulder up. So what are the main things that causes people to fall? Vision decline, your depth perception. How far are you from whatever you're trying to walk around? Get your vision checked. And when you have your vision checked, have them check your depth perception. They can do that. Ear health. Yeah, just go have your doctor, your healthcare provider, look in your ears, okay? And check your hearing, get it checked. If you haven't had it checked recently, get it checked. What's the 3rd big reason? Poor posture. I noticed this morning when I put my weight vest on, when I'm not thinking about it, and I've gone over this before ad nauseum, but I'm going to say it again. Look around at your friends and relatives this weekend. When I start to take a step forward, that's why I do a lot of backward walking. What do? You do this. We tend to start out in that kind of a body posture. You want to be aware that your poor posture throws you off balance. That's why you want to work on your posture. Yeah, it's going to be hard at first. You're going to get tired. But I'm telling you right now, every step that I'm taking, I'm putting gentle pressure here. I'm softening my knee so I don't lock it. I'm really working through toe to heel. That's warming my ankle up. That's warming up my heel cords. That's warming up my calf. And I'm holding on to something. So when you're trying to help straighten up your posture, stand and stand wide. When you stand wide and then you stand narrow, what are you doing in your postural lineup? So everybody out there should know how to line themselves up posturally. What is a neutral posture? We all have our challenges with our posture, but in many cases, I would say way up around 80 or 90%, we choose our posture, okay? So when I go wide, what do I want to be? I want my knees soft. I want my ear to be in line with my shoulder. I want my shoulder to be in line with my hip. And I want my hip to be in line with my knee. Then down to the ankle, okay? So if I bend, I'm still lined up, see? And when I start to walk, if I start out by caving, rounding my back, and walking like this, with my head jerked up, I'm already off balance, okay? So I'm telling you, one of the things that you really might have some control over is your posture. Really decide that you're going to be somebody that works on their posture. I didn't say has good posture. I said you're going to be aware of it and you're going to work on it. See, I'm pushing down here. I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm taking, you might not have noticed, but I'm taking increasingly long steps, okay, to help me on purpose get off balance a little bit so that I have to have proprioception and improve it. So go to a wall, go to a corner, and start working on your balance, okay, and your posture. So one of the fourth thing is lack of sensation in your feet. Continue to do long steps. And when you're doing that long step, keep saying, rib cage up, tighten my tummy, drop my shoulders, breathe in through my nose, and then feel your feet. Lack of sensation in your feet. Why? Because many of us have neuropathy that we don't really understand. That's number one, that you may be able to do something about it, you may not be able to do something about it. But here's something you can do about. Bad shoes. Oh my goodness. The soles are way too thick. Maybe you have diabetes. That's going to add to your neuropathy. So just doing this class and doing what I suggested in these last couple workouts, which will be posted later today, will help you with that. But one thing that you can do something a lot about is don't wear bad shoes. Okay, we'll go into that, or you can call me about it. Decline in strength. See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? I'm doing hesitating, really pulling my rib cage up because I'm trying to work on this decline in strength, especially in your lower body. Okay, so take really wide, stretching steps. See that? So decline in strength. We're going to go over the 3 best senior exercises to do to keep challenging there. And a 6th reason is not challenging our balance. That's what I'm doing right now. And if I wanted to challenge it further now that you're warmed up, you know what I would do? I would say rib cage up. I have my little bar here, or you could be at the wall. I would take a wide step, and then watch what I'm going to do. Tighten my tummy. I'm going to bring that leg up, and I'm not going to put my pole down. I'm going to hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm going to put my foot down when I want to put it down. See, you're so used to, in your brain, you're so used to doing it's a term called paradivation. Paradivation. That's catching yourself and putting your foot down quick. That's how you catch yourself. That is one of the major causes of falling, is catching yourself off of a curb or when you're walking down the sidewalk. That's what it's called. So In order to get better at doing that, guess what you have to do? On purpose, don't put your foot down when you start to feel off balance. Fight it just a little bit. And then when you need to, put your hand on that chair, put your hand on your pole, put your hand on a wall. And now I've just done an elongated, after I was warmed up, one-legged balance. See that? Yeah, so you can work on a lot of these balance and lower body strength just by doing these hesitating, elongated, one-legged body holds, okay? Now we're gonna come back. I'm gonna take my little pole and I'm gonna do something to help one of those issues, which is the poor posture one. You have a lot to say about your posture. You have a lot to say about your posture when you're sitting. You have a lot to say about your posture when you're standing, and especially when you're standing up out of a chair to walk. So what did I do to do the improvement? I simply put a broom handle, mop handle, golf club, a long umbrella, put it right back here. Bring your elbows back, shoulders down. Okay, shoulders down, they gotta be down. And go wide. Okay, when you go wide, feel your feet. Some of you probably can't even feel how your feet is touching the ground. You know why? Because you have very thick soled tennis shoes, okay? And I know the marketing industry, the shoemakers, have sold us this. You cannot ever exercise your feet if they're strapped inside a box. So I'll tell you about my shoe choice this morning, and there's a lot of it out there. Everybody has their own issues. But while I'm going through this, I want to again say rib cage up. I've got my arms back here, and I'm telling you, if you can not even think of anything else to do, but your back and your shoulders are not feeling too good, find something to put behind your back, say rib cage up, and then drop your shoulders. Open your hands, go wide. See this? Have your toes pointing out, then point them forward, then point them in. You see that? So the same time that I am working on straightening up my posture, I'm working on balance. Because what am I doing? I'm turning on my heel. I'm turning, and when I turn my toes out, I want to stand up. Say rib cage up. Okay? My knees need to be tracking over my toes. Some of you, you're not, because you know what you're doing? Your toes went out, but your knees are coming in here. Okay? So let's pay attention to that. Then I'm going to go straight forward with my toes, say rib cage up, drop your shoulders. Then I'm going to go inside with my toes, say rib cage up, take a big breath. So I might go around that where I'm going into an eversion, facing out with my toes, then a straight neutral, and then an inversion, inside, into the midline. That right there is going to stress your balance. It's something you can do anytime, all day long, okay? If you're gardening and you're out in your yard, grab your hoe, grab whatever you've got, put it behind here, and then really hyperextend your back in a gentle manner. See, I'm wide with my stance. I'm going to say rib cage up. I'm going to soften my knees, drop my shoulders, and now I'm going to push my hips forward, okay? I'm going to hang out there for just a little bit. So once I've done that, now when I'm standing, I'm going to come in really narrow. Okay, if you want to test yourself in what I'm telling you here about working on your balance, and that this little thing that I'm going to do with you right this minute, see, I'm very narrow. See that? Okay. I'm going to soften my knees. I've got my little bar right here. I could have it back here. However, to do this next move, I would rather you have your bar down here, or you have your chair where you can put your hand on it. And I know some of you are gonna say, oh, I don't need to do all that. Well, then I'll have you talk to Kay. So do you see what I'm doing? My knees are touching. My thigh, I got them all the way in here. I'm very narrow. Shut one eye. Don't shut them both, because if you shut them both, I can tell you, you're gonna be heading south. Put your hand on your chair and or your pole. But now say rib cage up, drop my shoulders, take a breath, and you're standing there, shut one eye and just lift into your heel. Just lift your heels up. Just lift your heels up. Yeah, one eye, now shut the other eye, open the other one, change them back and forth. Yeah, you have a preferred eye that you open and close, as well as you have a preferred hand that you use. So do that and then settle down into a very narrow stance and put your hand gently on the chair and shut both eyes. Don't hardly grab it. Shut both eyes and my hand is right here. And you're gonna find yourself weaving and you're trying to figure out, where's my proprioception? Now go very wide, okay? Very wide. Here's my bar, here's my little chair, okay? Rib cage up, soft knees, just soft, not bent, just soft. Say rib cage up. Now shut one eye, okay? And go from that wide stance. Got your bar ready, got your chair ready. Come into a very narrow stance. And now really hold your balance and try to shut down, almost closing the other eye, but not quite. Your hands is right there. This should prove to you where you're at with this whole balancing type thing. That's why I keep encouraging you to always have a safety mechanism wherever you're at, okay? So I went over the 7 biggest reasons why people trip and fall. And one of them is catching that last one and not being able to pull out of it, paradivation. So I'm gonna come right here. Now I'm going to attack the 3 main things that you can do to help your lower body. So I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna sit. And you're gonna say to me, well, Jeannie, we've done this before. How's that gonna make me do any better? Number 1, I have the pad on my chair. You got that? Okay, as I go into a lean to stand up, so it's a sit to stand. Sit to stand, and then all I'm gonna do is go from here to here, okay? So it's basically a sit to stand. And again, any of these 3, you can either do all 3 for 15 to 30 seconds, or you can do one move for a minute and do another move for another minute. That's to help you get ideas of what to do for 2 minutes all through your day, especially if you're sitting. See, if you're sitting, then you need to get up every 30 minutes and do 2 minutes of muscle contraction, okay? You could practice your pickleball swing. Right now, what I'm choosing one of the foremost moves that you can possibly do to get stronger, to sit down, stand up, and to walk around. And that is a sit to stand, but I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm gonna come right to here. But see, all of this stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm doing it with 20 pounds hanging off my shoulders, okay? So it's your body weight, or you can put a backpack on, or if you happen to have a weight vest laying around. Some of you guys maybe have sons or husbands that have hunting vests. Load those hunting vests up and put them on. See this? This is one of the best things you can do. This right here to help you with motion and strength. What am I doing in my feet? Every time I do this little modified sit to stand. See, I'm not going all the way down, but I'm shifting into my heels and then into my toes, shifting into my heels, shifting into my toes, saying rib cage up every single time. Now I'm gonna add right here. Are you ready? Here we go. Big breath, and I'm gonna just reach and then come back. Now, if you have a delicate back and you know it, you know that your back has maybe been a little touchy. I would not go all the way up with you. If I knew that and I was working you out, I would say just come to here and then come back down, okay? Because when you go to this move right here and you're in really good neutral posture, wow, is your back extensors getting a work? Yes. So when you come up, now you might have been doing everything good, and we went over this a little bit on Wednesday, but when you're up here like this, take your finger, everybody take your finger and just poke right here. Okay, if it goes in, that means you're not contracting your gluteal. Squeeze the gluteal so that if you got poked, well, it would bounce off of you. You want to be able to crack a nut right there. Right there. Crack a pecan. That means you got to tighten up. So now release. Come to the modified move. Keep my chin tucked. Bring my hands up if I want to have a little more work. Then you come in now, right now, squeeze your butt. Yes, you got to contract those muscles. And that's why I'm staying in this move. This is something that is so doable by people with hips replaced, knees replaced. You have osteoporosis, you have arthritis. This move, done with control and done up to 3 sets of 10. Oh my goodness. And some of you are going, oh yeah, I did 5 of them. Well, stay with me. Stay with me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. And if it's getting a lot, keep your hands in here. Okay? If you want a little more on your back extensors, you're going to reach. You're going to keep your chin tucked. Squeeze tight. Think about that pecan that you want to crack right there. I know it. Take a breath. Take a breath. So when your hands come up, you got to keep those shoulders down. Some of you might say, well, how do I put my hands up and keep my shoulders down? Try it. You'll see a difference. Drop your shoulders, keep them down, and soften your elbows. Now you're in the move. Now you're going to stay there. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Bring it in and bring it up. Yes. Tighten, tighten. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And how do you do that if you just can't seem to tighten them? Go up into your toes and squeeze them. Yeah, stay in your toes. Yes, stay in your toes. And then just do little presses. See that? Keep really, really, really tight. Up into the toe box. Heels are pulsing, pulsing up and down. You're not bouncing, you're pulsing. I got my little bar here if I need it. Take a big breath. Big breath. Big breath. And then come back down. Now we're going to go ahead and sit. So now I'm going to sit. And now I'm going to do a split stance with my feet. Okay? So I'm hitting hard some of the very simple things you can do that you might not think of to help thwart our propensity to fall. That's what I'm covering today. So do you see what I've done? See my feet? They're staggered. See that? Okay, I have my bar here. This is going to be very difficult to get up, okay? If you need to not use the bar, but you have to use your hands, that's okay. I still have the pad right here, so I'm 2 inch. I'm giving myself 2 inches. I'm going to lower us in just a minute. Now, the other thing I want to point out is I'm doing this whole thing with 20-pound weight vest, okay? Yes, your own body weight absolutely counts. However, if you wanted to pick some weight up, you could hold it right here and do the same thing. Just load yourself up a bit. So I'm right here with a replaced hip, a replaced knee, and I'm heading for another hip problem challenge. I'm gonna do this, okay? So I'm right here. I hip hinge. I'm gonna put pressure in the back, keeping my heel down as I come into this move. And I'm gonna come press, lift, and push myself up, okay? So you're primarily using that back leg. Yes, you're using the back leg. Let's do that again, because I really want you to get this move. This move is something you can do all day. Okay, so push back. I'm in a split stance. Do you see that? So one heel is back, almost under the chair. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take most of it on the back leg, help myself down, okay? And I've got 2 inches grace period right here. See that? So here we go. Front leg is just a kickstand for balance. Back leg is gonna take all the pressure, okay? In a good way. You're gonna feel it in the quad and the gluteal. Woo! Okay, go into it. Use your hands here if you need to, just to get you up. Now really push into this back leg. Push into it. Come up, push into it. Come up, push into the back leg. Come up, into the back leg. Come up, into the back leg. Come up, into the back leg. Come up. I know it. Oh, bring the other leg back. Okay. So now I'm going to go into this leg. So how am I going to do that? I'm just going to step out. Exactly what we used to warm up with. Yeah, I know. Okay, are you ready? First of all, drop the shoulders. Take a breath. Remember, if you want to do this, put a little weight, and you don't have really that big of problems with your knee or your hip, go ahead and grab weights. So I've got about a 20-pound, 18 to 20 pounds. I need to weigh it again, but it's about that. Strapped to me. You could put them right here in your hands. That'd be fine. Now what am I gonna do? So this is my hip, that's my problem hip, right? So I may need to use my hands, okay? So I'm gonna go back, watch that wobbly knee. You're gonna go into the heel, come down, come down, come down. So you're gonna be using that back leg. Here we go. Breath, up, and come back down. And you're gonna barely touch, then you're gonna come back up and it should be on the back leg. The front leg is like a kickstand. So push back, come back up, push back, come back up, take a breath, drop your shoulders. Okay, we're gonna do some pulses here in just a second. One more, and then we're gonna pulse. Come all the way up, now come down, here we go, here we go, here we go, come on down. Act like you're gonna touch and then come back up. Act like you help yourself if you need to, but put it on your leg. Keep your chin tucked. Take a breath. 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 One more. I got one more. And stand. And you should be feeling it here. Here, but especially here. Okay? So, we did a regular squat. I'm sorry, sit to stand. We did a lot of modified squats. Okay, and if you can't think of anything else to do a stinking modified squat. Okay, that is so, you're using so many muscles. Then when you add the arms, then you're gonna further add to your compound moving. So in order to sit and to stand, when you bring your arms into it, you're doing a compound move. When you walk and you're working with your arms, you're doing a compound move. You're doing a balance move. What is walking? It's a series of one-legged stances. That's what it is. So we're going to come down here now. I'm going to grab this, take it out of there. So I just took you through 2 of the most important things to help strengthen your lower body. I did a modified squat or sit to stand, and now I'm going to go all the way down and sit on my chair, okay? And I'm going to have a wide stance. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick up weights because I know a lot of you are not doing it with the advantage of a weight vest, okay? So I'm going to take this off, okay? And if I need to add weight, I'm going to add it this way. Many of you could probably already picked up some weights. That's fine. But I'm going to go wide. I'm going to go to a hip hinge. This move right here is incredibly important. You're going to be around friends and family members probably this weekend that do not know even the mechanics of how to get up out of a chair and not hurt themselves, but most importantly, help to strengthen themselves. So the first thing you want to do so that you don't have a misstep is always use your hands if you need to. Hold on to something around you, but I like to encourage you to keep going so that you don't have to use anything, so that you hip hinge, you keep your back extended, you keep your chin tucked, you take a breath, and you exhale when you push into your heels. So tighten up in the tummy, hip hinge, breath, exhale, and you're up. That's how you get up. That's how you get stronger. And you hesitate as you're coming down. And you just kind of hang out here and act like you're picking up ants or something down here. And then you go right on down. And how long do you stay there? Until you feel these burn. That's how you do it. So I should put this, get strong through your day. And this is one of those things. You're going to find yourself seated. Go wide with your feet. Hip hinge. If you want to add weight, great. But just your own body weight and going into a low, very wide squat is one of the best things you can do. If you can do them, if you can do 2 sets of 10, that's a great thing. Okay, so drop your shoulders, little interset here. Take your leg and go way out here like this. See that? Bring it back. So I'm going from a stance in front of my chair. I'm dropping my shoulder. I'm going to go like I'm going to do a little whirly move. Don't move the back leg. You're turning. See, you're getting all kinds of stretches from that heel. Then come back. So why am I having you do this? Because that's an unusual move. And some of you might even need to do this by a wall or with your pole, okay? Because I'm taking you from here. Drop your shoulders, tighten the tummy, take a breath, and I'm going to act like I'm going to go this way. See this? This is a big move and it's a very unusual move. That's enough to get us off. But it's great practice because all I'm doing is I'm taking a wide stance in a good neutral spine, and then I'm changing your position. Don't move the back leg. Don't move it. Step, and see, I'm looking this way now, okay? Now sink back, soften your knees. Tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, and come back, okay? Now I did it 2 or 3 times on that side. Practice this because you're going to feel panicky. Because if you get off balance, you're going to be fighting. So that's why I'm saying do it where you can put your hand on a wall or on your chair or something like that, okay? Drop, Chin tucked, breath. Do not, I'm gonna step out with this leg. I am not gonna move the back leg, okay? I'm gonna turn like I'm gonna go that way. Then say rib cage up, take a big deep breath, soften your knees, come back, okay? Now I can hear people like Julia, who I don't know if she's on today. She is like a semi-pro dancer and she does our class. And she's gonna say, oh, I do those kind of motions all the time. That's one good reason to keep dancing, okay? Step one more time, are you ready? I really want you to get this. So I'm as wide as my chair is with my stance. I'm gonna keep this leg from moving. The heel is down. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna go this way. And when you do that, when you get yourself there, you're gonna start finding your balance. That's why this is such a good move to do on a regular basis, because I want you to be able to walk with confidence. And you've got to do some of these different kind of feet positions in a real functional way, okay? Because that's going to give you the ability to work your proprioceptive brain muscles and all your muscles that are connected to that. Okay, so sit to stand is huge. So now we're going to take it a little lower. Are you ready for that? Typically, I call this a fold. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn around. And see, you can do these three big main moves, which is a sit to stand, into a squat. And we did a lot of split-legged things. I'm going to do a few more, and then I'm going to give you one main move, two more moves. But I'm going to stand and look at this chair. So this whole thing is about loading either with a weight vest, or you can have your weights in you, or use your own body weight. So now I'm going to go pretty wide as my chair legs. Now what I want you to do is turn out. So I want you to evert or turn your toes out. Okay, now check yourself. What would I be looking for? If I had you do this and I came into your room right now, I would look that your hip hinging, your back is extended. As you go into this froggy squat, I want your knees tracking over your toes. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm coming here. Then I'm going to put my hands here if I need it. If you don't need it, great. Then I'm going to go as low as I possibly can. But I have my chair here. I'm going to drop that butt. Don't let your knees come in. Do not let your knees come in. Take a big breath. Stay in that really wide squat. And then come up. So it's like a fold, but it's very wide. See that? And I'm primarily emphasizing your body weight right now. If I wanted to, I'm not done with that. I would come over here and pick up at least a 10, maybe an 8. I'm picking up a 12, okay? And I'm gonna put it right there. So one end is flat on most of these weights that I've given, that many of you have purchased from me or whatever. So put the flat end down, stay really, really wide, okay? You're gonna push your butt back, keep your chin tucked, really keep the knees tracking over the toes, go down, lace your fingers on that, and pick that weight load up. Come back down, keep your knees wide, put that little weight right there, drop your butt a little further, come back up, take a big deep breath, open those hands out, take a breath again through the nose, drop your shoulders, really pull the backs of your hands back. Okay, ready? As you're coming down, keep your back extended and keep tracking your knees over your toes. Do not let those knees come in. Drop your butt now. Drop your butt. Lace your fingers. Pick it up. Come up. Bring that weight load up. Touch your shoulder. Touch your forehead. Touch your shoulder. Touch your forehead. Touch your shoulder. Touch your forehead. Touch your shoulder. And then come back down and put it down. Now, when you're putting it down, hang onto your chair and get as low as you possibly can. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. And then come back up. Take a big breath. Right now is when you want to squeeze your butt. Now, remember that little pecan crack? You want to be able to crack a pecan right there. So that means tighten up. Okay, we're going to pick that up, but not quite yet. Because I'm going to take you into one of the last moves that's so important for seniors to do. It's important for anybody to do, but especially people with more experience at life. What am I going to do? I'm going to put my hands on this chair and I'm going to lean over, see, like this. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to soften my elbows. I'm going to step back and I'm on my toes and I'm going to push to my heels. Then I'm going to go up to my toes so my shoulders are over my wrist. Then I'm going to push down into the heels. Really keep yourself tight in your tummy. Push one heel down, the other heel down. One heel down, other heel down. One heel down, other heel down. You'll feel stretching. You may not even be able to put your heels down. Okay, now come back to your toes. Soften your elbows. Take a big deep breath through your nose. Now put your heels down. Keep your tummy tight. Tummy super tight. Now you're going to step up with one leg and bend in toward the chair. Bend yourself right in toward the chair. Your elbows are squeezing at the waist. Breath, and then come back. So all I'm doing is a chair plank into a step out, okay? Keeping my elbows in, then coming back. Keeping my elbows in, my shoulders down, and come back. Take a breath, breath, breath. I'll do about 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6. I'll step back. I'll try to put my heels down again, and then I will bring them up. My elbows are soft. I'm doing this all on the chair. If you wanted to have your pad on the chair because it's hard, you could do that. It would be no problem. Okay? Now I'm going to step the other leg all the way up to the chair. See that? So this is a very important skill to be able to do because it is widening up your whole bodily muscle function, okay? And your brain has to adjust. Your proprioceptiveness has to adjust. And now I'm going to just come in as far as I can and then come back. I'm going to put my heel down, drop my shoulders, take a big breath, press the knee forward, elbows are in, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, then come back. I'm going to do it one more time. Drop your shoulders, take a breath. Did I say drop your shoulders? Yes, drop. You're really pushing your heel down right here. Now I'm going to push that knee in the front up as I drop my shoulders. My elbows are going to bend. I'm going to come down as far as I can, and I'm going to push back. So yes, we're doing a modified push-up. That's what we're doing. Okay, it's whole body weight. I'm trying to maintain neutral spine. Now I'm going to tighten my tummy. I'm going to bring that leg back. Step in. I'm going to go back into that froggy squat. I'm going to go down as far as I can. Really come on down. Don't let the knees cave. Keep your knees over your toes. Grab the weight. Bring her up. Bring it up. Right here. Tap the shoulder. Tap the head, tap the shoulder. Tap the head, tap the shoulder. Take a breath. Woo! Right here. Yeah. Now I'm going to hold this right here. Okay? So, 3 moves that you need to visit. You can do it all from a kitchen chair. Use weight or don't use weight. Sit to stand. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to lace my fingers. I'm going to open wide. I'm going to go into the sit to stand. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. And anytime you sit down, I don't care if you're at church, I don't care if you're at a meeting, I don't care if you're sitting at the dinner table. Use good mechanics, okay? Swing the butt back just a bit. Calm down and then grab a weight. See, if you just grabbed a weight and did a few of these, a sit to stand. You could do a split stance for 30 seconds and then the rest of the time, only 2 minutes, grab you a weight and do a proper sit to stand. Squeeze that butt right there. A lot of you are leaving that out. Okay? Take a breath. Sit to stand. I think next time I'll get me a pecan and see if I can crack it right there. I hope you're laughing. Anyway, this can be kind of a big weekend for a lot of people. So let's just do this is how we began. A split stance, and now I'm just going to do an arm swing. And I'm going to hold my position. See, if you do an arm swing and you do a split stance like this, do a little test. Stand tandemly, soften your knees. Now do that same swing. And your ankles are going to be working all over the place to keep you from falling on your nose. Just that. One little change should get your attention. Then take that foot, put it over the other one in a tandem stance and swing your arms. You're going to catch yourself. Okay, the knees are soft. Take a big deep breath. I hope some of these little tests that I did throughout the day today is giving you some awareness of and some ideas of things that you can do. And if you haven't had your eyes checked, your ears checked recently, make an appointment and do that. And try to see if they can give you a depth perception check when you get your eyes checked. Okay, wasn't it fun? Let me take us off.